Welcome back. With gold prices near record highs, Artemis Gold has announced commercial production at its Blackwater mine in British Columbia. Chairman and CEO Stephen Dean joins us now to talk about that development and the company's outlook. Stephen, thanks a lot, and congratulations on what is, for any company in your industry, a very significant milestone, and that's kicking off commercial production and a project that I'm sure has been on the planning boards for years and years. Talk to us a bit about the work that your team has done over the years to get this thing to the finish line.
Thanks, Paul, and always good to be invited on the show. Yeah, it's been a long road to hoe to get the Blackwater mine into production. We acquired it some 4.5 years ago with a vision to bring it into production in a short time frame. But the permitting process has taken up to 12 or 13 years. Construction in a industry-leading 22 months, and pleased to say our team has achieved commercial production since the first gold pour within 3 months of that first pour, which is also a leading industry stat.
I'm seeing that the mine is expected to produce gold at an all-in sustaining cost, which is the key per ounce cost measure used by people who watch this industry, of $770 at the high end. Is that correct? That's in U.S. currency, of course.
That's correct. That's what we're forecasting for the remainder of the year, post-commercial production. And I think that puts us certainly in the lower quartile, but probably in the lower decile of global industry costs.
Yeah, that's very, very low. Is that a sustainable, all-in sustaining cost over the longer life of the mine?
Our life of mine studies project that in that $700 to $800 mark, to be adjusted for whatever inflation has in store for us over the next 20 or 30 years. But that's what our life of mine studies indicate, yes.
And for how many years is the life of mine?
The current projections are in the order of 18 to 20 years, but I think that a deposit like this typically achieves extensions of mine life, as this deposit is not closed off in many directions. It's one of these mega large deposits. The resource itself is 12 million ounces. So we think it's going to get a lot bigger than we know it today. And of course, we've got 1,400 square kilometers of very, very prime exploration ground around the Blackwater deposit itself, which will also be a potential source of additional ore feed over the next 20 or 30 years.
You said earlier that it took 12 to 13 years to achieve all the necessary permitting. So the permitting began under different ownership. As you know, there's been a lot of talk in the recent electoral campaign, including by remarks made by Mark Carney, the Prime Minister, that the country needs to streamline and shorten the approval process for key infrastructure projects. What is your view? I would assume you would agree with that view.
100%, Paul. The country needs that streamlining, not just from an environmental permitting perspective, but also socially. Very proud of what we've achieved at Blackwater on both the environmental, but also on the social side. We have agreements with 6 First Nations, the 2 key First Nations with whom we partner, whose traditional territory resides, the Blackwater deposit resides, will receive generational benefits from the mine's operation, both financial, jobs, training. So that's all part of the deal. I think we've been in the vanguard of some of those changes over the last 10 or 15 years. And my hope for the sector and for Canada as a whole, that those things can be streamlined as we've gotten better at it.
It's a complex subject matter, of course, but you believe that that rigorous environmental standards and rigorous standards affecting First Nations people can still be maintained and implemented in a much shortened and streamlined approval process, do you?
I believe so. With good intent and and on both the private sector, the nation's side, as well as federal and provincial government. I think we've learned a lot in the last 5 to 10 years about how to permit new mines, particularly socially, over that period. And I think it places us with the right support federally in particular, and I think Mr. Carney has a view for that, for the next 5 to 10 years.
Okay, we got a minute left. What comes next for your company?
That's a good question, Paul, because we have just achieved commercial production, but we're now turning our minds to what we call our phase 2 expansion, where that will take our annualized production to in excess of 500,000 ounces a year. That has always been on the table, but we're looking at accelerating that. That's going to take another significant capital investment, most likely from future cash flow generation. But that will certainly make it one of Canada's largest mines and probably one of the largest mines in the industry globally.
Am I hearing you say that you would finance the expansion through future cash flow and profit and not by selling additional shares or going to debt markets?
That's the intent, Paul, and provided we can continue to enjoy gold prices and silver prices that are approximating today's prices, I think we will be able to achieve that.
Stephen Dean, thank you very much for this conversation. He's chairman and CEO of Artemis Gold. Up next, Ontario